So in today's discussion, we will focus on Python strings. So what are strings? So these are the series of characters and inside in the single quotation marks or in double quotation marks. So Python strings. Strings are amongst the most popular types in Python. We can create them simply by enclosing characters in quotes, double quotes or single quotes. Python treats single quotes the same as double quotes, so they are just functioning the same. Creating variable is as simple as assigning value to a variable. So when we create strings, it is as simple as assigning value to our variable. So we have the variable 1 and it has the value of hello world, and in variable 2 we have the Python programming. So once we print this, we call the print function print var1 and print var2, then the output will be hello world Python programming. So accessing values in strings. Python does not support a character type. These are treated as string of length 1. Those also considered a substring. So there is no character type in Python. In other languages, we have the character type like in C and I think in Java. So to access substring, use the square brackets for slicing along with the index or indices to obtain your substring. So how do you get the substring? For example, if you have the var1 here, hello world, then the var, so it should be the var1 should not have the space, because once we declare a variable there should be no space. Then in variable 2 we have the Python programming. So once we print var1, so we start with the re0. So once we print with the var1, so it should display as h because it is an 0. So we have the re0 here, re1, re2, re3, re4, then re5 for the space, then re6 for w. In the var2 we put the range from 1 to 5. So in print 1 to 5 var2, so okay, so print 1 to 5, so 1, so this is y, then 2, 3, 4, because it is inside by 1 to 5, so it is greater than 1 but is also less than 1 or less than 5. So this will result as ytho, because we start with 0, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, so ytho. Okay, so in our next we are having the updating strings. So how can we update the strings? You can update an existing string by reassigning values to another string. The new value can be related to its previous value or to a completely different string altogether. So for example, we have the var1 hello world, then we print updated string, then we have this one, then we get the var1, we have the range of less than 6, so 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have the 6 which is hello, then we concatenate the Python. So having this sign, plus sign, we have the concatenation Python. So this will produce the following result: updated string, this one. Then since we get the range to 6, we have the hello. Then we concatenate the Python, so it displays that hello Python. So this is the actual output. Okay, so this is how we update or reassign a string. Next, we have the escape characters. So what are the escape characters? We have the list. So we have the backslash and the hexadecimal. So this backslash A for bell or alert. This one for backspace. Say X for control X. This one is for control X also. We have the slash E for skip. F for form feed. And meta control X. Then slash N for new line. This is the common one, the new line. Then slash NNN or octal notation. This is also very useful. We have the slash R for carriage return. Slash S for space. We use this for our GUI. Slash T tab, especially in table type data. We have V vertical tab. We have the X character X, X and N for hexadecimal. So these are the list of escape characters. Next is we have string special operators. Assume string variable A holds hello and a variable B holds Python. Then we have the operator. So as I said, So plus is a concatenation. This adds values on either side of the operator. So once we add the E plus B, we have the hello for A and B for Python. So it will display as hello Python without a space. Then this one is for repetition. Creates new strings concatenating multiple copies of the same string. So this is already discussed in my past discussions, but we go here today because that is only the overview, and this one is our focus discussion for string. So once we have E and this one to 2, so it will repeat into 2. So we'll give, since we repeated the A, so it will give us hello hello because the value of A is in hello. Then next is this one, the open and closing bracket. So this is called as slice, gives the character from the given index. So once we call as A sub 1, this one, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once we call at so A sub 1, so this will give us an eagle. So this is the output. So we have this slice, we have the range slice. So gives the characters from the given range. So if we have the 1 to 4, so basically we have this ELL because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we continue with the operator in. Then we have the membership. It is called as membership. Then it returns the true if a character exists in the given string. So H in A. So once we search H in the value of A, hello, so it will give us 1 because it is found. 1 for true and 0 for not found. Next operator is not in. So the description of not in is membership returns true if a character does not exist in the given string. So in, so it check if the string exists. Otherwise, in not in, it will check the character if it does not exist. So M not in A. So meaning we check the value of A, which is hello. So since M is not present in the hello value of A, it will give us 1, meaning it does not exist. So this operator R or big letter R is description is row string. Surprise actual meaning of escape character. So print R slash n print slash n and print R backslash n prints slash n. So this suppress the actual meaning of the skip character. So instead of printing new line, this will print slash n, and the new line, it will just print as slash n. Then we have the modulo operator, and its description is format performs string formatting. So we will go with the next section for our string special operators. So string formatting operators continuation is %C or modulo C. We have the character conversion. For modulo S, we have the string conversion via str prior to formatting. Modulo I, signs decimal integer. Modulo D, sign decimal integer. So I think we can call it as %D. %U, unsigned decimal integer. %O, octal integer. %X, hexadecimal integer or lowercase letter. Then we have the %X for capital hexadecimal integer. Then we have the small letter e for the exponential notation. We have the capital E for exponential notation with uppercase letter E. We have the %F for floating point in real numbers. We have the %G for the shorter of %F or float, and E, %E. %G is the shorter of %If and %E. So we are only, I think we use this one, character, string, %D, this one, %I, and I think these are the common string formatting operator. So we continue with our next slide. So other supported symbols and functionality are listed in the following table. So again, we have the symbols and functionality. We have this one, argument specifies with or precision, minus is leave justification plus display the sign, and sp leave a blank space before a positive number, this hash and octal leading 0 or hexadecimal leading OX or OX depending on whether X or X. We use 0 is pad from left with zeros instead of spaces. The modulo or modulo leaves you with a single literal modulo. Var, mapping variable dictionary argument. So the ICT, M and M is the minimum total with, and N is the number of digits to display after the decimal point. Application, if applicable. So the triple quotes in strings. What are the triple quotes in string used for? So Python's triple quotes comes to the rescue by allowing strings to span multiple lines, including verbatim new lines, tabs, and any other special characters. So the syntax for triple quotes consists of 3 consecutive single or double quotes. So this is having the triple quotes because it is consecutive. So we declare the para str variable, and this is the values. So we call it as slash t for tab, slash n for new line, and we print para str. So I think we can get the result in the other slide. So row string. So first is we discuss the triple quotes, then now we go to the row string. So for row strings, these don't treat the backslash as a special characters at all. Every character you put into a row string stays in the way you wrote it. So print C double quote nowhere. So this would print the following result: C slash nowhere. This one. So this does not treat backslash as special characters. So it will just print. Now let's make use of row string. You would put expression in our expression as follows. So print R, so this are row, then C, then we have the double backslash nowhere. This would print the following result, this one. So once we use the R expression, this will display the following. Once we do not put the R expression in the print, so this will just only output the one backslash. Then when we go to the Unicode string. So what is Unicode string? Normal strings in Python are stored internally as 8-bit ASCII, while Unicode strings are stored as 16-bit Unicode. This allows for a more varied set of characters, including special characters from most languages in the world. So I'll restrict my treatment of Unicode strings to the following. So once we print Unicode string hello world, this would print the following result: hello world. So I think it's just the same. We only have the Unicode string, which means it differ because of its ASCII, because usually the Python is stored internally with 8-bit, but when you put it to Unicode, it will be stored as 16-bit. So built-in string methods. So first is capitalize. So these methods or functions, or this is a built-in given by the Python interpreter. So once you call this capitalize, so this will capitalize first letter of the string. Then center width. So we have these parameters. We have the width and the field char. Return a space padded string with the original string centered to a total of width of columns. Then count. We have the parameters tr, big equals to 0, n equals length than times the string. So count how many times str occurs in string or in a substring or a string if starting index, big, and ending index and are given. Next is we have the decode. We have this thing. It is like that's the HTML wants um, to to make us not have the errors strict. So decodes the string into using the codec register for encoding. Encoding defaults to the default string encoding. Then encoding, this one is returns encoded string version of a string. On error, default is to raise a value error unless error is given with ignore or replace. We have the ends width, determines if a string or substring of a string. Then we have the expand tabs, tab size equals to 8. This is the parameter. Expands tab in strings to multiple spaces, default to 8 spaces per tab if tab size not provided. Next we have the find. So simply this method determine if str occurs in a string or in a substring or string if starting index, big, and ending index end are given. Returns index if found, and -1 if otherwise. Index same as find but raises exception if str not found. This method checks the following. We have the find, we have the index. This will return as the index. Then is a method returns true if string has at least one character and all characters are alphanumeric, and false otherwise. Is alpha returns true if string has at least one character and all characters are alphabetic, and false if otherwise. Is digit returns true if string contains only digits, and otherwise it returns false. Once the string has numbers and characters, so it will return false. So is lower returns true if a string has at least one case character and all case characters are in lowercase, and false if otherwise. Is numeric returns true if a Unicode string contains only numeric characters and false if otherwise. Returns so I space returns true if string contains only white space characters and false if otherwise. So if it is not printing or it does not have the white space, so it will display or false. So we have the 14. So is title returns true if string is properly titled case and false if otherwise. We have the is upper return true if string has at least one case character and all case characters are in uppercase, and false if otherwise. Okay. Join, it merges or concatenates the string representation of elements and sequence into a string with a operator string. Next is the length string. So this will return the length of the string. So basically, if you have the word hello, it will return 5 as length. So LJAS returns a space padding string with the original string length justified to a total of fed columns. We have the lower converts all uppercase letter into lowercase. So this will converts all uppercase letter. Is strip removes all leading white space in a string. If you have the white spaces before your string, it will remove all and it will display without the white spaces. Make trans returns a translation table to be used in translate function. Then we have the max str returns the max alphabetical character from the string str. So next, we have the minimum returns the minimum alphabetical character from the string str. Then we have the replace old new. So replace all occurrences of old in string with new, or at most max occurrence if max is given. Our find is same as find but search backwards in string. So it will go to the end to 0. So this will search backwards. Then our index is same as index but search backwards in string. So our index is same. They just reverse. So reverse just or R just returns a space in padded string with the original string rights justified to a total of width in columns. Our strip removes all trailing white spaces of string. Split, or we have this split, then string counts str split string according to a delimiter str space if not provided, and returns list of substring split into at most num substrings if given. Then we have the split lines, num string count slash n. Split strings on at all or num new lines and returns a list of each line with new lines removed. At 32, we have the starts with. Determines if a string or substring or of string if starting index big and index are given, starts with substring str returns true if so, otherwise it will return as false. Then we have the strip. So these are methods for Python, but some of them are already obsolete and they are not useful already. But if we have the um, specifics for our Python methods, then we can call this one. So we have the swap case, inverse case for all letters into string. Then we have the title, returns title case version of string, that is all words begin with uppercase and the rest are lowercase. Then translates string according to translation table str to 556 characters, removing those in the del string. Upper converts lowercase into a string to upper. Zfill with returns original string left padded with zeros to a total of with characters intended for numbers. Zfill retains any sign given list 1 0, and the last one is 39 is decimal returns true if a Unicode string contains only decimal characters, and false if otherwise. So these are all the discussions for our Python string. So next we will go with our Python boolean. So just stay in tune, and in the next tutorials we will go with our Python booleans.